It is a privilege to be here in a distinguished gathering of leaders, scholars, and officials, and I have just been told a few minutes back that this is the first occasion on which a visitor from abroad has been accorded this privilege. I feel greatly honored. This is my first visit to your beautiful country, and though I have spent only about a day here so far, I am deeply struck by the friendship and affection for India and Indians amongst the Cambodian people. Perhaps such amity and warmth is natural given our cultural linkages. We share the common heritage of Buddhism and the philosophy of compassion, tolerance, and nonviolence. Our shared legacy is reflected in the religious and cultural ties that bind us. Hinduism and Buddhism spread out across Asia from India. The structures at Angkor Wat, Angkor Thom, Bayon, and other historical sites bear testimony to the flourishing exchanges and cultural synthesis between our people. The waters of sister rivers, Ganga and Mekong, sustain our cultures. The centrality of rivers in our civilization gives us shared traits, ethos, and sensibilities. Our exchanges and cultural flows were disrupted in the period of colonialism. After India won her independence in 1947, we have made conscious efforts to re-engage with our brothers and sisters in Southeast Asia. In early political cooperation in the Non-Aligned Forum and the reinvigoration of our relationship since 1981 provides us with a strong and much trusted base upon which a towering edifice of friendship can be built. We have a similar worldview. We share many challenges and have the same opportunities of growth ahead of us. Our shared socio-economic compulsions make us for a strong case for cooperation, particularly in economic development of each other. The Cambodia I see today has transformed itself in the last 2 decades. Emerging from a period of strife and disturbance, the Cambodian nation today is stable and peaceful with a growing economy and is playing its rightful role in the region. This is an inspiring story. The desire and efforts of the government of Cambodia to continue on the path of economic progress and work towards social upliftment of its people is deeply appreciated in India. We in India have similar objectives. My visit provides an opportunity to convey to the people of Cambodia the deep commitment of the government and people of India to the enduring friendship and cooperation between our two nations. Our cooperation is for mutual benefit and is guided by the requirements and priorities of the people and government of Cambodia. As countries where agriculture plays an important role in the national life, we understand the need for harnessing and utilization of the abundant water resources in our countries that your country is blessed with. Development of water resources is a mutually identified area of cooperation, and in future also we would continue working with the Cambodian government in this area. Cambodia, like India, has a young population. In order to address the aspirations of our youth, we have embarked upon a strong skill development program in India. We have a partnership with Cambodia for capacity building as well as several training and educational programs. I am very happy to learn that a large number of Cambodians have benefited from these. The Entrepreneurship Development Center, established in Phnom Penh with Indian assistance, has been contributing fruitfully to this end. We would look forward to strengthening and augmenting the facilities there. We have also enhanced our cooperation with Cambodia under the Mekong-Ganga Cooperation Initiative. I am informed that the Asian Traditional Textiles Museum in Siem Reap, which showcases our collective cultural heritage, has been successfully built with Indian assistance. In my meeting today with Prime Minister Hun Sen, I have conveyed the decision of Government of India to support several projects under the Mekong-Ganga Cooperation Program, targeting the health sector, agriculture, and women's empowerment. We hope that these projects would benefit local communities and contribute to improvement of public welfare. The temples at Angkor are a reflection of our shared cultural heritage. We are very proud of our assistance in the restoration of historical heritage of Angkor Wat Temple complex as well as other sites. We have recently completed major restoration work project at Ta Prohm temples and look forward to starting a new phase of restoration there soon. Given our close cultural ties and civilizational links, we see a strong potential for tourism to develop between our two countries. Happily, we have been able to sign this morning a memorandum of understanding to enhance tourism. I am hopeful that this will boost tourist exchanges. Our shared worldview is reflected in our close cooperation on regional and international issues. We in India value greatly the support that Cambodia has extended to us in the ASEAN-India context. It was for us a matter of pride that Cambodia in the year 2002 hosted the first India-ASEAN Summit. We greatly appreciate Cambodia's support to our initiatives, including our efforts to reform the United Nations, make it more representative, and secure for India the permanent membership of the Security Council. Since 1991, India has assiduously followed a Look East policy. This policy emanates from a realization that our economic progress and well-being is intimately linked to the growth and prosperity of the entire Asian continent, especially our friends across the Bay of Bengal and the Andaman Sea. In recent months, we have enhanced our engagement in the East. This was reflected in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's remark last year in the India-ASEAN Summit at Naypyidaw in Myanmar, and I quote, "India's Look East policy has become Act East policy." A rapidly developing India and ASEAN can be great partners for each other. We are both keen to enhance our cooperation in advancing balance, peace, and stability in the region. End of quote. The current economic relationship between India and ASEAN countries presents a multitude of industrial, commercial, and investment opportunities. India has also welcomed ASEAN's plans to establish economic and political relationships with neighboring nations, and India and ASEAN have increasingly supported bilateral trade, promoted foreign investment, and strengthened diplomatic relations. Even among our ASEAN partners, Cambodia, Lao People's Democratic Republic, Myanmar, and Vietnam, which form the CLMV countries, are of particular interest to India. These countries include some of the fastest growing economies in the region, are primarily agrarian, and have enjoyed certain degree of microeconomic stability in recent years with vast potential for future development. This creates strong complementary interest between India and countries in the region on the basis of a tripod: commerce, culture, and connectivity. These are sustained by more frequent political exchanges. The India-ASEAN relations are thus poised to scale new heights. My visit to Cambodia, ladies and gentlemen, underscores the importance India attaches to Cambodia as part of our increasing engagement with the region. Geographically, Cambodia lies at the heart of ASEAN. For us in India, our relationship with Cambodia is a key element of our engagement with ASEAN. We look forward to Cambodia's strong support in building bridges and deepening of our relationship with the entire region. We need to delineate more precisely the contours of our relationship in the coming years. Our glorious past and shared cultural ties create a strong platform for cooperation in the future. Despite extremely cordial political relations, the diverse areas of cooperation, our bilateral trade and investment remains much below its potential. Cambodia has maintained growth of 7% in the last few years. Your government is also undertaking policies to further attract investments and broad-base the economy. The recent launch of the new industrial policy is a step in that direction. In India, too, the economy is back on an upward trajectory, and we hope to maintain good economic relations in the foreseeable future. I beg your pardon, we hope to maintain good economic growth in the foreseeable future. These trends provide us a very good basis to strengthen our economic ties. Government of India has made clear its intention to partner Cambodia in its economic development. As part of our initiatives, the government has recently set up a special purpose vehicle to attract Indian investment into Cambodia and other CLMV countries. We hope to launch this new initiative soon, and I am confident that in the near future, more Indian companies will explore the investment opportunities here. There is good scope for sharing experiences for mutual benefit between our two countries. Agriculture and agro-processing sector, mining, oil and gas, and small and medium enterprises offer opportunities for trade and investment by Indian business houses. And it will be our endeavor to encourage our companies and businesses to explore the emerging opportunities in these areas. For this, we look forward to support not only from government of Cambodia, but businesses here. Another area is defense cooperation. India is happy to have been involved in training efforts for the Cambodian Defense Forces. We will continue and enhance these training efforts. The spreading tide of extremism and terrorism is a threat we both face. Successfully dealing with such threats requires strong cooperation among like-minded partners. I am glad that we have taken some steps to institutionalize cooperation in this area. We will continue to pursue more regular exchanges between our security personnel. Allow me to conclude by asserting that as two of the fastest growing economies in the world, the potential of our joint effort to enhance our bilateral trade and investment, our collaboration in science and technology, our cooperation in human resource development, and of course, our cultural exchanges is boundless. As India embarks on the new phase of its Act East policy, and as Cambodia prepares for successfully integrating economically in the ASEAN community, we hope to work with our Cambodian partners to realize this potential. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Honorable Vice President of India, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now request the Honorable Vice President.
Honorable Minister Samar Singh Jatji, Honorable Members of Parliament of India, distinguished guests, fellow citizens of India, a sprinkling of friends of India in Cambodia, ladies and gentlemen. This is a land which has figured on the Indian landscape in India's external relations, in India's dealings with the outside world, very, very frequently since early 1950s. This is a land which has had more than its own share of turmoil, sufferings, and this is a land which has overcome all that and demonstrated to its own people and to the rest of the world that it is capable of rapid transformation, rapid economic development, rapid integration with the rest of the world. So for all these reasons, coming to Cambodia is not just another duty item. It's more than that. It's a country with whom we have ancient linkages, where there are very visible signs of the tradition that links the two countries together, and with whom we are now seriously engaged in building up a meaningful relationship, a partnership. I don't need to tell you, because you know more than I do, that we in India value greatly our relations with Cambodia. We value it not only in bilateral terms, India-Cambodia terms, but also because this is part of a region which figures very prominently in our thinking, in our scheme of things, in about our planning for the future. The Look East policy, the Act East policy, the policy of creating an area between India on one side and Southeast Asia on the other, which will not only be an area of peace and stability, but also an area of co-prosperity. In that scheme of things, Cambodia plays a very important part. We have our own, in our own modest ways, tried to be helpful in the developmental needs of the people of Cambodia. Capacity building, Ambassador tells me, is one area where the results are very visible. There are a number of projects which are underway, which have been done, or which will be completed in the coming months and years. But each one of them demonstrates one thing, that we would want to build up a relationship on terms which satisfy the immediate and foreseeable requirements of the government and people of Cambodia. And in that effort, my delegation's visit is basically to highlight this point, which I shall be doing tomorrow morning in my meetings with the leadership of Cambodia, that we would want to explore and expand areas where more cooperation, more productive cooperation can be undertaken. In the world of today, cooperation between countries unavoidably takes the form of economic commercial cooperation. It is of immense value. But if that cooperation is taking place in the backdrop of much deeper linkages, then it is something to be very happy about. So I'm very glad to meet you all today. I think the Honorable Members of Parliament, the Honorable Minister would like to spend some time talking to you, listening to you, hearing from you, your perception, your suggestions, your advice on what are the areas where we can promote our cooperation more meaningfully at a quicker pace so that we can see the results visibly in the immediate future. Thank you very much once again. Jai Hind.